least talk about it. And then we'll check the rest of your answers. And then we'll dive into class stuff. So guys, don't worry about it yet. We'll do what we have time to get to. So you will need 218 out. So in case like you just have your binder open and you're trying to unclip stuff, you will need 218 out because we didn't do the classwork yesterday. We did not get that classwork done. I guess I never said the rest of why I had to miss extensions. Nico wouldn't leave his paw alone. His paw just had surgery a couple weeks ago, so we had to take him back to the vet. They gave him an even bigger cone than what he was in. So Nico is unamused with his ginormous cone that he has now, but he's got to be safe.
You have a beautiful dog.
Oh, thank you. That is Nico. He is one of the 4. I will keep bringing you pictures of dogs. Don't worry. So, we have 3 columns here. And if you did not learn the 5D process last year, here's the secret I shouldn't say loudly. I think it's a giant waste of time. But, hey, for real, the 5D process does have its purpose, but as soon as you understand algebra, doing the 5D process just takes longer. And really the goal with mathematics is to be efficient, right? My joke I often say is mathematicians are lazy, I mean efficient. Like, you would think we might be lazy because we're trying to find like the least effort to solve a problem. That's math, that's efficiency. So, when somebody gives you 3 objects, when somebody gives you 3 things, in my brain, I immediately think of a triangle. But earlier when I was talking with Lee, because they came in at AO, Wharf, whatever we call it these days, I brought up that I rock climb, and I've got a ton of different ropes at home. So what if I call these 3 different ropes, right? Or what, because I've got different types of rope and whatever else. So we make a guess. Then we did something to the guess. We did another something to the guess. Then we end up adding them all together. And this is why I thought about triangle. Is if I talk about this as a triangle, what is this? What's the perimeter? Right? When you add them all up, it's the perimeter. Now, yours doesn't have to say what mine does. You might have made up a different situation. But if you totally didn't understand the 5D process, you might have just skipped it, especially because I wasn't here. So for B, I just wrote my words up here. If I say that this is a triangle, then I can say the long side, because it's the biggest number, right? The long side is 2 times the short side, because I took my little number and I doubled it. The medium side is 2 more than short. And this should say 74. Sorry, my scan cut off. And the perimeter, the sum of all 3, because they tell us right here, our target is 74. Now, after what we do in class today, you would be able to take this situation, write out algebra for it, and solve it in like 2 or 3 steps, but you would know your answer was right. Lee, let's focus on class, right? Thank you. You're also wasting my highlighters, which I bought. Yeah. So, it does not have to match mine. Also, 47, there's a lot of ways to think through 47. I was very impressed last class when somebody said, you know, it's just a 20th. And I was like, what do you mean I know it's just a 20th? I don't know what you're talking about. They said, no, 1 minute. They said 1 minute is just a 20th of the pool getting filled. Because they took it backwards. And I was like, mind blown. That was brilliant. Well, you're smarter than me. Sorry. So, depending on how you want to solve it. And then, where's my, what I want? That. Sad Nico. In 43, if you check my key, it's not going to make sense to you. No, not this. I mean my key. 43 asks us, see if these different values make this true. And if you went into Schoology and looked at my key, what you would see is just what I have on this paper, right? And this, you don't know how to get to there yet unless somebody helped you learn a little bit of algebra, because we did not do, not this. We didn't do yesterday's classwork. We did not do 218. We're a tiny bit behind. So, now you could have solved this by just doing substitution. Substitute 2 in for x, 2 in for x, see if it's true. But, guys, here's what by the end of class you'll know how to do. If I add 2 x's on both sides, I get to 5x minus 2, or you could say negative 2, is less than 2. Because 2 is the only thing left on that side now. Then if I add 2 to both sides, this, when I simplify it, remember these things and pushing things to the left and the right? When I simplify it, it would come out to be 5x and 4. Because, guys, if we started with 3x, man, not enough desk space. 3x and negative 2. And 2 and negative 2x. Right, if we went back to thinking about algebra tiles, how can I get rid of, let's do x's first. How can I get rid of 2 negative x's? Add 2 positive x's on. But if I do it on each side, well, this side's making 0, but over here, these just stay, right? So, goodbye. How do I get rid of these negative 2? Anybody? Add 2, or really, they just essentially go there and flip, right? We said when things go across the middle, they 5x, 4. You guys have done this. You've done it. You just haven't written it out the way that we're going to learn today. You've done this. You've done algebra. You just don't realize it yet. Yeah, you do. You just don't realize it yet.
It's too many numbers. I only like
4 plus 4. You know what that is, right? What is it? 4 plus 4? Okay, we might need to adjust what math class you're in.
I'm okay with that.
No, you know what 0 said to 8, right? Nice belt, girl.
Did I play a part in this? Yes. The dad joke.
It's all Mikey's fault. No, it's really just a math joke. I don't know if it counts as a dad joke, but any other questions? Any other questions? Yeah. Are we good on 42 though? The number lines and the shaded circle versus the not shaded? On which? On which what? On 42? You probably need to go back and check your work, but I wouldn't necessarily do that until after we do class today. Guys, if you get wrong answers and you need more time with your homework, that is fine. Normally, if you're missing a homework, I will bug you about it in the morning if I see you when I'm standing out by the family room. So, you can turn things in first thing in the morning, or, if you need more extensions time today. But let's dive into the lesson so that problems like 42 make a bit more sense. So, we need 218's paper out.
Wait, I need to finish.
No, we don't have time. Sorry. We'll go back to that at the end of class if we have time. It's recorded, and my answer key is in Schoology. So, here's the deal. What people were saying is 42 didn't make sense, the answers that are up there. That is true because we didn't do yesterday's lesson. So we need to do yesterday's lesson. If you can't turn in 614, it doesn't matter. Guys, I'll even say, give me your eyes, I'm already behind. 614 you can turn in tomorrow. I do not care. 614 you can turn in tomorrow. Because 42 you weren't quite ready to do, and I wasn't here at extensions yesterday. My bad, had to take Nico to the vet. Turn in 614 tomorrow. Right now, we need to do 218 so this all makes sense to you. So get out 218 if you haven't gotten it out yet. We're going to go down to 75. But guys, you need some graph paper, and you would like either a colored pencil or a highlighter to be able to write stuff on both sides, or at least highlight that we're doing stuff on both sides.
What if you hypothetically got out that paper to do your homework and then you left it at your house?
Like 218?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, get out a piece of graph paper at least. Yeah.
I'm asking for a friend, just so you know.
Asking for a friend, always.
I'm that friend.
On your graph paper,
I'm my own friend.
go and write down 3x minus 7 equals 2.
So what's
Full set. Well, probably. We're going to do a lot of problems like these, like, over time. Now, yes, because there's probably not space. So, if you write this right here, you're probably only going to be able to fit, like, one of these problems here, because we're going to work vertically. So, I don't care if you put, like, which paper you put it on, but I need you to, like, keep copying down what I do. Because otherwise, you're going to come to me and say, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm going to say, you didn't do it in class with me. And you're going to be like, yeah, no, I didn't. And then I'll still help you. I'll just be annoyed.
Oh, that's great.
Well,
Still probably pay attention.
look, I'm sure your parents help you even if they're like annoyed or frustrated or whatever. If I ask you what to do with this, you're probably going to be like, well, with what goal? So our goal always, when we're asked to solve, sorry, I'm trying to count and talk. When we're asked to solve an equation, is figure out what that x is worth, right? And we started with this comparison mat saying we don't know which is bigger. And then we've developed into this whole if we know which one is bigger, and now we're developing into if we know that they are equal. So imagine the duck and the witch, right? Did we get to that video?
No.
Okay, well, we got another video we need to watch. So imagine a duck and a witch on a scale perfectly balanced. It'll make sense at the end. Has anyone know what I'm talking about? Okay, Berkeley, I figured you would. Alex, I'm not surprised. Liam, I can't tell if you're trying to just make it up that you know. What movie? Holy Grail. Monty Python. What is your name? What is the airspeed velocity of an African swallow? All right, so our goal is to figure out what is this guy worth. Just one of them. Right now, on our paper, like what you have written down, you have variables and constants, and then you have just constants. What that essentially is telling us is a hint of what we should do. Leave the variables alone, since there's no variables over here. How could I get rid of these constants? Because we also don't like negativity. Negativity can, get out of here. We want to be positive. Nathaniel? But what else would we have to do? Yeah, because to get rid of these, I want to add positive 7. But to add positive 7, we do it to both sides. So when we add positive 7 over here to wipe these out, it adds positive 7 here. And on our paper, the algebra we write is plus 7 on both sides. You never just write it on one side because that's begging to make a mistake.
Are we writing that with colored pencil?
That is what I would advise to write with colored pencil or write and then highlight on both sides. Right? It is something happening on both sides. It is what you are doing. Like, we made this choice. We could have made a different choice. Now what do we have? Gabrielle?
Now we just have 3x equals 9.
Now let's go back to here. And let's actually go back to the beginning. If I asked you to get to, hey, give me your eyes up here real quick. If I showed you just the problem, right? If I did that, but without anything else, and I said, how do we get to 1x? I bet at least one of you, probably half of you, would gut reaction say, subtract 2x. But if we subtract 2x, it does this, and it makes things worse. So yeah, sure, that's how you get to 1x here, but now we've got these two negative x's here that become a giant pain. So that's why we first got rid of these, which pushed them over here, but now still I have 3 x's, and I'm trying to get to 1. Alex, what can I do? We can split, which is where the 5 tile is not very convenient. So if we had not split into thirds, and each x, so what we write, real simple, division bar, just set up like a fraction. And x equals 3. This is the sort of stuff you want to do in problem 42. I'm going to give you guys time to do one together. Do you have a question you want me to answer real quick?
No, we were just saying we did it differently than you did.
Did you still get 3?
Yeah.
Totally fine. Yeah, that's the fun thing about algebra. You can take a different route. Just make sure we meet in the right place. Because if I'm at that Kroger and you're at that Kroger, like, you know. Let's do C. It's on your paper, it's up here, but let's do C. And this is where I'm going to give you like another Hudson tip. If you have positive and negative variables, like a positive on one side and negative on the other. I say this kind of as a joke because, you know, I teach middle school and you guys have a choice every day of whether you want to be positive people or whether you want to be negative people. But for real, like mathematically speaking, I don't like negatives. Excuse me, I don't like negatives. They're complicated. They have all these different rules. Like if I divide by a negative, now things become negative. Like if we can work with positives, work with positives. What that also means is if I have the choice of get rid of a negative or get rid of a positive, get rid of the negative. So if you had negative 2x on this side, because remember, this is not minus, this is negative 2x. If we had negative 2x over here, how do you get rid of negative 2x? Do this. I think you guys got this. Go for it. You know the first step.
Wait, I don't got this?
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Good thing this isn't like asking you to bungee jump or something. It's just do some math.
Oh, I would way more want to bungee jump.
What?
No, I'd rather do
Good thing we're taking you to camp next week.
Yay!
No. I don't think we can let you bungee. Now, there is a giant zip line. There is a giant swing. There is a high adventure course. I'm stoked.
There's a high adventure course?
What? Oh,
There's a
what
high
is this?
adventure course.
It is challenge by choice. Challenge by choice. We're not going to make you do anything you don't want to.
I'm gonna be like, this is fun. And then look down and be like, I'm out of here.
I don't like this.
No. If we added 2x to both sides. Hey, bring it back. Bring it back. If we added 2x to both sides, we get 3 is equal to 4x. And I'm going to go ahead and write this differently. Instead of minus 5 and negative 5. Anyone want to volunteer for what we should do next? Okay. Eli, I keep not calling you, so I feel bad. Eli?
You add 5 to each side.
Yeah, you've now determined the variables get the right side. They've like claimed that base, right? Get rid of the constants, so add 5. Man, I don't know why I've never thought to teach solving equations like capture the flag. Like, once you get to a base, or like the variables are all together on one side, the variables get this side. It is their side.
Can I do that next time?
So now 4x equals 8, Missy. Or was it Anna? I can't tell who it is. Missy?
But, so you just divide each one out?
2 equals x.
What do I need to do to get this to 1x?
Divide by 4.
Divide by 4.
X equals 2.
So we divide by 4, divide by 4, x equals 2. Do B on your own. B. Letter B.
Oh, I don't like this. No, stop it.
Okay, you can start.
I'm going to build it. In case you are struggling, I'm going to build it. One, 2x. One plus 2x minus x, or negative x, and x, and negative 5, and x. Anyone got any advice for me? John?
This equation cannot be solved by itself until we do something that we need to do.
Yeah, clean your room.
Yeah, we need to combine like terms.
Yeah, like your parents telling you to clean your room. This is a disaster. You got stuff all over the place. Pick some things up, combine what can keep, like throw away what needs thrown away, right? This is really 0. This is you had a bag of chips and you ate the bag of chips, right? Like throw away the empty bag of chips. So guys, on your paper, under these, you should now have a positive 1x. And over here, when we combine those, we should now have a positive 2x, right? So any questions on how we got to here?
Oh, nope, I got it.
Now, there is a best option. And guys, I try to teach you the best ways so you don't come and get mad at me about like, I spent forever doing this, that, and it moved over there, and moved over, and then I did that, and that. And then I realized the answer was just 2. And you're like all mad at me, and you did a ton of work, and it's like, you should have done this first. I told you in class. And it's not that you get the wrong answer. It's just that you might try real hard. The best way, when both variables are positive, which one do you think we should get rid of? Margot?
Probably the lower one.
Yes, the lower one, because if I have 1x over here and 2x's over there, what can I do on both sides? Get rid of an x. I mean, or you can literally under it just write minus x, right? Or minus 1x. So on your paper, what you're writing. Now, if you write it like this, the trap doors, you're going to write 2 here. Because you're going to think, oh, 2x, get rid of the x. I have 2. No. This is 1x. We took away 1x. We still have 1x. So x, oh wait, this is gone, so that's just 1. Equal to, that's an eraser. That's an eraser. There we go. X and negative 5. Questions? Next step. Somebody new. Lucas?
So you would add 5 to each side?
Add 5 to each side.
I was correct.
And 6 equals x.
I
did.
I
Hold up, Nathaniel. Are you good though? Okay. Sweet, we have time.